Hi, my name is Allison. Today we're going to be talking about how to receive support when self-sufficiency is your pattern. And this is important to me because the idea of self-sufficiency in and of itself was twisted in my mind for a really long time. And I find that to be true for a lot of other people who identify as givers and empaths. We're not islands. We're not meant for each one of us to be saviors and taking care of all the things. It's not how it was designed to work. And it can really hurt the way that we're able to continue taking care of other people. It can stunt that also. So if you've ever felt like you just don't know how to ask for help, or when someone offers it, you can't receive it, or when you feel like you are just breaking underneath all of it being on you all the time, this is for you. You're in the right place. You can learn how to receive support when self-sufficiency is your pattern. So by the end of these 10-ish minutes, you're going to understand what is the pattern that's happening inside of you, why is it, and what do you need, how are practical steps out of it. I have a very dear friend of mine that this has been her common state of self-sufficiency, and even listening to someone give them a compliment or anybody offering support, it was kind, but it wasn't receptive. It was like, no, I have to do this here. And what we have found over time, especially in our conversations together, is that was a mechanism for safety. So if you hear that and you're typically like hearing from other people that tell you, well, you should just ask for help, or why don't you say what you need, or why are you trying to do everything yourself? Does that sound familiar? That's a typical thing that people will say in response to something like this, or just take a compliment or whatever it is. But if you have the feeling of your safety in yourself being that's the reason that you're being self-sufficient, those are not going to resonate. Those are not going to be things that you hear or can even listen to in any way, shape, or form. There has to be a recognition of when I'm standing alone as an island, or when I'm trying all the things and trying to hold all the things myself and do all the things myself, I am doing that for a reason. There's something smart happening in my body. My body is not stupid. My body is wise. So we have to start realizing that there's always things behind the things, and stop and recognize, wait, in this moment, why am I not able to receive that? Why don't I want to? And listen to it truly. So this is what I'm talking about here. All right. Let's say that I want to put like a lot of grocery bags this mom is carrying. What if you're carrying all the things, right? And you're doing all the things, and you're trying to take care of all the things, and you're looking in all the directions to make sure everybody's all right, right? Especially moms understand this. Like, is everybody okay? Does everybody have all the things that they need? You're operating out of a system that you are beautifully designed with. And that is a giving state. That is an empathic state. Like, I see the things and I want to take care of the things. I want to, help, and I want to give, and I want to take care of. That's all really good and really beautiful. And also, what happens a lot is that we have these little pieces inside of us that have been very early on wounded. They weren't seen. They weren't shown that care. They weren't given to or empathized with. The space that you are holding for others wasn't held for you. And so there's an armor that develops around that. And whether it's like blatant, someone saying, ah, you need to do this or that, and just not listening or having angry things to say. It could be really obvious trauma, or it could just be more of the trauma of neglect, which is someone didn't take the time to show you that they wanted to help you, to offer things to you, to hold space for your feelings and your thoughts and your emotions. And you were taught, I'm supposed to behave a certain way. And often people like this in this situation, the thought is, I'm supposed to behave in a way that gives. I'm supposed to be in a way that offers up to you my services, my time, my, whatever I'm able to do, whatever I'm able to give, because when I do that, I get something back that makes me feel loved, that makes me feel safe, that makes me feel like I'm okay. There is a safety element in our giving. So when that happens, and if this is like your safety mechanism inside of you, when that happens and you get to a point where you're like underneath all of the responsibilities that you have taken on more and more and more and more of as you've gotten older, and someone over here says, hey, you want some help? Your safety system here says, that's not familiar. I don't recognize that. I don't know actually if that's safe to get help from someone else, because I wasn't shown that, as like I don't have a predictable history of understanding that receiving support from someone else is safe. It can be safe. And so it feels very vulnerable. Offering or receiving feels very vulnerable. Getting, like opening yourself, it's almost like an opening. You're like, okay, I'm going to open myself up to whatever you're giving, to whatever you're saying, to whatever your energy is. I'm open and available for it. And your body likely has built such defense mechanisms around it for so long that anything that might be coming from someone else, if it's like a direction at you, that doesn't feel like something that you can open yourself to, because there's always a little bit unsureness of like, is this going to be a safe place to be? I don't know. So we put ourselves in a state of, if I give, I'm not as vulnerable. If I give, maybe it's linked to productivity, right? When I have another video on that. If I give, maybe it's like, that's how I find value. If I'm offering to you, that's how, like, I'm in control. I'm in control. It's a way to hold at bay. It's a way to stay safe. It's a way to feel protected. And if you're going to start learning the concept of receiving, I want you to understand that it is vulnerable. Receiving is freaking vulnerable. And you will need to have an element of, here on my own 2 feet where I stand, I can generate safety. I can hold safety with myself. And this is how I'm going to hold safety even when it feels vulnerable. And this is how my safety that I hold is also going to be able to kind of filter, is this a good place to be open and receive, or is this not the place? Is this not the person? You can know energetically, is this a good time to practice my receiving skills, or is this not a good time because this is not the person I will receive it from? You can know that more and more and more the more you know how to stand on your own 2 feet with your energetic space being defined by you, specifically your safety being defined by how you're working with the information inside of you. This is, our safety is ground zero. How we feel safe in our body is ground zero. And most people don't come into an awareness of even looking at these things to understand that they don't have a feeling of safety at their body, like whenever at different times of the day or just in general chronically. So it's the fact that you're here and listening to this, like, I just want to celebrate you, because this is how we get to the stages of insanely beautiful evolution in ourselves. Like, there's so much good stuff ahead of you because you want to have this kind of stuff in your life and you want to make this kind of change. Yes, way to be here. All right. So I think you can see, as I've been talking about this, there's a lot of pieces involved, right? But at a zoomed out overview, this is what it's about. It's about your feeling of safety. So if you want to learn how to create more of that in yourself and you want to have another voice in there helping you with it, I would invite you to click the link below in the description for my one-on-one mentorship program. We're going to have a chat about it. It's completely free. You can see if it's a fit. I would love to see you in there and have a conversation. So, I do only work with a few committed women at a time. So make sure that you click that if you want that now. So remember, just the big thing to take away from today. When it's hard to receive support, when it's hard to have someone offer help or ask for help, that's showing you that receiving is difficult. The process of receiving is difficult, and it's pointing likely for all of us, for the most part, to a stability that's lacking inside, a safety that's lacking inside, that's keeping you from that vulnerability. And so you want to go to your body to learn how to start enveloping it in a state of safety with yourself, with vulnerability, with the practice of receiving. It is a practice, and start that process, and you will totally see things change in your life. Receiving is one of the biggest skills you can ever learn, but start with safety, okay? So I have more things like this on the channel. We're talking about stuff all the time. And if you found this helpful, you might like the video, How to Trust Your Path When Life Feels Completely Uncertain. I would go check that out. Also, you can go check out one that just gives the big overview on the mind and body connection, which is everything we talk about in here. And again, if you're looking for personalized support, please click the link below and schedule a one-on-one call to talk about my mentorship program. I will be back soon with more information to help you navigate connecting your smart brain to your wise body so you can live happy, strong, and free.